Marlins are back. Trouts are back. We're catching everything. Let's step into the On Deck Circle.
You're listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar App, the top-rated DFS tool set and #1 companion for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Go LineStar Premium now at LineStarApp.com. Now, here are your hosts, fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to On Deck right here on the line. It's me, it's KC Bubba, and it's you. Yes, and I'm a little punchy today, in case you couldn't tell. It's been a long week, long 2 weeks, I'll be honest with you. But luckily, it's been a productive couple weeks as well. Great messages from everybody yesterday. Overall, very good showing for us again. Max Fried good. Our cash game arms good. I flew too close to the sun with Dinelson Lamet. I'm sorry, everybody. I will take the heat on that one. But I was feeling it, Bubba. I was feeling so good, and I just put it all on black, and it all just went crap. And, what can you do? But, that's all right. We're back here again today. Luckily, this is why we have bigger investments in cash games. But we're back at it again today. Bubba, do you kick yourself because you called the Mike Trout baby swag home run, but then you didn't use Mike Trout in the home run contest? And if you did, you would have gained another spot on me, because apparently Juan Soto's healthy enough to play, but we just don't put him in the lineup anymore.
Yeah, I am kicking myself. The second I opened my phone, saw 3-0 Angels, and I saw Mike Trout went deep in his first at bat. I'm like, it was too simple. Too simple. Narrative Street. People laugh at it, but it's called Narrative Street for a reason. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do regret that one quite a bit. But I am happy that the Angels and the Astros late night stacks worked out, because we saw some people win some big money on that. So that's very good.
Dude, honestly, yeah, it's a good day. Like there's no way around that. And I got your messages. We're all getting them here. And if you're new to the show, just get in here, baby, because this is On Deck, and you can get us and subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcast. Again, it's LineStar MLB DFS On Deck show. Very easy to find. Google, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeart, everything. We're there. And we want to remind everybody, we come to you courtesy of the LineStar app. Download the LineStar app at LineStarApp.com today, and you can go over and using that. It's the best there for DFS. Hopefully next week we'll get Eric on the show, who is our captain here over at LineStar, and we'll chat a little with him. But in the meantime, let's fly around yesterday. It was more Shane Bieber. It's his world. We're just living it. He's down to 0.83 with the ERA. He goes to 3-0. Austin Meadows returned with a vengeance. 2 hits from him, so that's really good. That's a positive there. Charlie Morton was a guy we were talking about yesterday. If you played the all-day slate, take a shot. I think it's going to get better. It did. Still not great, but better. That's an improvement. Patrick Corbin was our chalky cash game pitcher last night, and he got his first W of the season against the Mets. Of course he did. It's the Mets. And Howie Kendrick did hit a home run, and I did talk a lot about Howie Kendrick yesterday. I was like, look, if Kendrick's in the lineup, you got to put him in there. He was like 2.8 or something like that, something crazy. So that was a good one. Max Fried, big start here for the Braves. The Braves are 8-4, but I can't wait to see what happens going next. Austin Riley with a home run in that one. So big start here for Bubba from Max Fried. They needed this in the worst way. Are we going to see Ian Anderson soon, in your opinion?
That's the rumor on the street, and that's going to be very intriguing to see, because some people, we saw Kyle Wright think Ian Anderson was the guy that should have got the gig. Now they might both get the gig, and we'll get to see who's actually better. But it seems like Ian's coming up pretty soon. I don't know if it's immediate, but that's everywhere you listen right now on the streets, it sounds like Ian Anderson will be making his debut very shortly.
You spending a lot of time on the streets there? What are you doing? You late at night?
Well, if I got to stay healthy looking like this, so you got to get all the scraps you can.
I just had a picture of you in an outfit that need not be named, and I'm just going to keep going right now.
Hopefully it's an outfit not from the San Francisco streets, so we're good there.
No, either that's like maybe just overalls, and maybe one of those hats that nothing else. Maybe one of those hay stalks in your mouth there. Oh, look at you. You're like the
gloves with
daughter.
No fingertips.
The gloves with no fingers. Got that one glove all full of Vaseline for my woman.
Yes. One big
That's a literary reference, by the way, on the show. I don't know if any of you get that, but whatever. I guarantee you it's the only DFS show ever to make a literary reference. Okay. So yeah. Yep. White Sox and Brewers last night. Giolito got the W, but we told you this one was going to be close, and it was. So I'm glad we stayed away from it, although it was for the White Sox there. Kyle Hendricks got the W, like Bubba said, at home, different guy. I was shocked that the Orioles got blanked against the Marlins yesterday. I know they came
Big
back,
time.
but that was crazy. And that is baseball right there. That is the perfect example of just when you think everything looks too good to be true. We should have known better because we did the same thing with Kershaw on day one and we were right. This one we should have known this is too good to be true. We should have pivoted off of it, but we didn't. We got greedy yesterday because we were riding high. Like I said, too close to the sun. The Rockies go to 8-2. Marquez again was good. The Astros, Correa was brilliant. Javier got a win. Oh my goodness, Madison Bumgarner, hello, 7 ERA between him and Robbie Ray. Geez, I mean, these guys should go on, like, I keep seeing those trailers for that like show where they all go on this retreat or something to find their souls again. I feel like whatever that show is on USA, I don't even know the name of it, but I feel like that's where Bumgarner and Robbie Ray should be going.
Yeah, they basically are pitching the way I'd feel if I was on Naked and Afraid. It's crazy. Like they're that bad right now.
It's a lot of nudity on the show today. We'll try to get this BC. Dodgers and Padres in this one. Can't even keep going. Hey, Dustin May, good for him. He beat me yesterday. I'm glad he went 6 innings. I'm happy about this because that means he is now viable. And I'm a big Dustin May guy, so this is really cool. So I'm glad. Even, Lamet wasn't terrible by any stretch of the means. He did not get the W, and we kind of needed that to happen. And then, of course, as Bubba mentioned, we had Mike Trout returning for the Angels. So a lot of good stuff yesterday, but who cares? Let's talk about today, and let's kick things off here. 6:05, Rick Porcello against Max Scherzer. Play the all-day slate with Max Scherzer. Lock it up. Lock it up, yep. Boys and girls. The Nationals are minus 207. They're going to pound Rick Porcello into submission. Okay, it's just the fact of life. Maybe Juan Soto will play today. Who knows? If he does, get him in the damn lineup. But I would still continue to look at Howie Kendrick, just 2.4 today. Rick Porcello has been a gas can. He's been so hittable. Over on the DK side, actually, you have to isolate these games as the 6 o'clock. But look, let's just stick with the FanDuel side for now. Jeff McNeil's questionable in this lineup tonight. Forget it. You got Brian Dozier playing, for God's sakes. Max Scherzer, 100% if you want to extend out to the all-day slate. And I think on a night like tonight where, again, there's a couple good cash game guys and you can make it work, it's worth experimenting with the all day today. Anything further to add about how bad Rick Porcello has been?
No, just play your Max Scherzer. But the one thing I will say, I think I saw yesterday, Soto's not going to be playing until Thursday.
So what the hell? Why are we activating him?
I have no idea because I threw a fit when he wasn't in the lineup. Somebody sent me a message from a beat reporter that says he's active, but he's not feeling up to speed, so he's probably not playing until Thursday.
Then why do you activate? I want to punch the air and scream into the sky. I'm just like, just
grab your pillow and scream.
Oh God! I mean, seriously, that's really where I'm at. All right, let's go to the next 640 game here. I got no love for this one at all. Martin Perez and Yarbrough. Yes, okay, sure. There could be some offense here. Tampa is not always the greatest hitting ballpark in the world. As tempting as it might be at 640, I'm going to pass on this one. Do you have anything here that you want to extend into that all day realm? Like you want to go to Austin Meadows at 3.5? Do you want to go play around with something else here?
Like you go with like a Hunter Renfroe one-off type thing, but I'd rather go to the main slate because bad ballpark. The Rays offense, they put up like 5 runs yesterday, but they're just not really putting up that DFS style like stack you're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. There's not a lot of power in that lineup. I mean, he might get the one-off home run, but it's not like the Reds or you look at the Astros and Yankees and teams like that. We do look for the Twins. So we're doing these home and homes now. So everybody's still playing each other. They just switch ballparks. So Dobnak against Trevor Williams. We're going to pass on all those pitchers, obviously. But look, Nelson Cruz, 4.1, still very good. Eddie Rosario. It's like everybody I touch goes out of the lineup. I don't know what the hell's going on here. It's crazy. But Eddie Rosario's down to 3.1 on FanDuel. Yes, please. I mean, I know Trevor Williams, not a big strikeout pitcher, keeps the ball down. I don't care. Max Kepler at 3.12. I don't know if Donaldson's going to be back in the lineup or not tonight, but if he is, holy cow, he's just 2.8 over on FanDuel. There's a lot of bats here against Trevor Williams today that you can look at.
Yeah, big fan of the bats here. Kepler and Rosario both cheap on both sides. Kepler's swinging it very, very well right now. Very well. So I like both those plays a lot on FanDuel as well. Garver's super cheap if you want to mix in a righty in that lineup. And I will say, if you need a cheapie on DraftKings, Dobnak is not a bad number 2 at $7,200 against this Pirates team. It's not going to light the world on fire. He pitched really well his last outing. He's extended to go well over 90 pitches. So if you're looking for a cheap SP2, I don't hate Randy Dobnak over on DraftKings.
Colin Moran in the middle of the lineup, by the way, lefty at 3.4 on DK is interesting. All right, I've been waiting for this one all day. Tihei Antone. That I think I'm saying it right. Or Tihei Antone. Like I don't know because I don't know who this guy is. I gotta be like, you know what? You can do this all we want, day in, day out, and every now and then you get a name where you just go, I got nothing. I got nothing. Tihei Antone against Mike Clevenger. Good luck, Tihei. It's gonna be a long evening for you, or a short one, I would imagine. Clevenger at 9.6. If you're playing the main slate, obviously this is where all the attention's going to go, as it should, despite the Reds being a really good team offensively. Still, you know, they're going to be in Cleveland, home ballpark factor for Clevenger, comfort level. I mean, this is a tough one not to like Mike Clevenger, although there's another cash game arm later on that's even cheaper for like less, like 1,500 less than this guy that I like even more. But I think Clevenger's going to have a big time ownership level tonight. So is that wrong or is that right?
That's completely correct. Like Bistakis is day to day. If he's out of lineup, that's another big blow to Cincinnati. Outside of Castellanos, their lineup's been pretty bleak of late. So Clevenger's a very good cash game play, even if you want to GPP it. But cash game, very strong. And Mr. TJ Antone is the way I'll pronounce it. There's many ways to go about it. We can go
TJ
fancy
Antone. Way. No, it's
that's boring.
Antone.
Hey, if it's not Louis Robert, then it's not. No, just kidding. But I think on DraftKings at 4K, if you want to get in a tournament, you can get different there, but that's only if like you're stacking cores. Sorry.
I love Lindor, Carlos Santana in that grouping tonight. 3.4 for Lindor, 2.9 for Santana. It's a good spot for those guys. You know what? Tihei and Tonhei. You know, like in Dumb and Dumber, when Jim Carrey's trying to pronounce the word the. Tihei. Tihei. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, Tay Diggs might have a better chance. One thing I'll say is Cleveland on DraftKings is super cheap because DraftKings has him priced like he's facing Luis Castillo. So they're real cheap on DraftKings.
That's fair. That's fair. Hyunjin Ryu has been terrible so far to start the year. He's facing Sean Newcomb and the Braves. Now, Newcomb's just 5.8 over on FanDuel, but, you know, I don't know. I don't have a faith level here with him. He's just 6K on DK, so I don't know if people are going to take a shot because Ryu's been so bad. Is that something you would advise because it's so low and Ryu's been so bad, or is this something you advise against?
I'm going to go against it. I like these Blue Jays bats to unload on Newcomb pretty good.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I like the over in this game. Like, just looking at this, I imagine there's going to be some runs here potentially. Teoscar Hernandez, I want to point out, is just 2.8K on FanDuel. It's a great value against Newcomb tonight. He's hitting in a 3 spot probably. Gurriel's 2.5, Vlad's 2.8. You know, I haven't really danced much with the Blue Jays, but tonight might be a night to do that, especially if you want to go up to Clevenger. You're going to need some salary relief, and there's a bunch of guys here, 2.8, 2.5, 2.8. You can really get into bed with here, and Bo Bichette at 2.8 as well, another righty. So a lot to go for here. The Yankees are in a doubleheader. Are we doing anything with this? Are we getting involved in this? Are we staying away? What's your plan with the doubleheader here? Because that's always messy of who's in and out of lineups and stuff.
I'm staying away. They're not on the main slate, so I'm just passing on those ones.
Yeah, so we're just passing on that. I agree. All right, what's going on with the Chicago Cubs? Craig Kimbrell pulled from his closer role yesterday. Oh, it's getting ugly there. But Bobik is back. Or Bobula, he's going to be pitching here. The lefty Bobula against Yu Darvish. And the Cubs, I tend not to like the cash game arms on the road as much, but my goodness, this one looks too good to pass up on, unfortunately. Not too good to be true, but just too good to pass up on. Contreras with a big hit last night. He's just 3K on FanDuel. So Darvish is at 9.5 over there. He's 10.4 over on DK, so you really got to pay up for him. But look, I think you could take Bryant, Rizzo, Baez. You could take Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, however you want to do this. Stay with the top of this order, I would, if I were you. And attack the Royals and go with you, Darvish. I think a Cubs stack and cash makes a lot of sense tonight. I don't know, man. As good as Whit Merrifield is, I'm going to pass on all the Royals. I'm just going to go and I'm going to favor the one side with you, Darvish. I'm going to keep it simple and not overthink things. Is there anything I'm missing here in this one?
Nope. I think Darvish is a phenomenal play. It's pretty simple stuff there. And then the stacks you mentioned, stay up top. And if you want to make it different, make sure you have Rizzo in there because people see lefty and avoid. He hits lefties extremely well. So that's don't leave him out of your stacks.
Yeah, and that's why I included it because I just take that for granted that other people know that. Thank you, Bubba, for pointing that out for everybody. Yes.
Nope.
Anthony
That's what I'm here
Rizzo
for.
hits lefties. That's what you're here and for the sex appeal of the overalls. Let's be honest.
Yes. There we go.
You're just here for ratings. That's what you're doing here. All right, we're gonna keep pressing on. Look, we're just keeping things simple tonight because it just is. It's a simple kind of slate the way I see it anyway. Here we go again. Brewers and White Sox. We've switched around here in terms of ballparks, but same duo. Dallas Keuchel 6.9 on FanDuel against Adrian Hauser 6.1. On the DK side, Adrian Hauser is 8.1, Keuchel is 7.4. So, as secondary pitchers tonight, either one of these guys interest you, or is this another 4 outcome? I'm terrified. I'm running the other direction.
Yeah, this is a 4 outcome one for me. Like I can see both these guys pitching well, or a boring 3-2, 4-3 type game. This really doesn't have the appeal I'm looking for a DFS night, sadly to say. Like if anything, you can fade Hauser with like a Moncada and a Robert type situation, but overall, I'm pretty much avoiding this game.
Yeah, and I like Adrian Hauser as a pitcher too. Like I wish Hauser was 7.4 on DK. If he was 7.4, I might give it the old go.
I'd be in. Yeah.
But at 8.1 for $1,000 more, I pause. And Keuchel just doesn't strike out enough, guys, for me to get excited about him. So his total is so tied to the W that it's very difficult to get excited about that. And look, these are two very capable pitchers too. So, I mean, look, Eloy last night going yard, if you want to go with him again, look, there's never a bad night for Abreu or Jimenez or Robert or any of these guys. You want to keep dancing with them. There's nothing wrong with it. Mind. Also, keep a close eye on Edward Encarnacion. He's been ice cold. He's at 2.8, a little banged up. I don't know. Like, I think he's going to lose his gig here, but at the same time, you know, it's something to just keep an eye on. He's always been a slow starter, but the problem is we don't have 2 months for him to get ready. 2 months is the season. So that's all we got here. I would love to go crazy and start John Gray at 6.3 on FanDuel tonight. But so far, Gray's Ks have not been there. Now, I don't know if that's going to change against San Francisco tonight against this lineup, but I get the temptation. I feel like a lot of people are going to go to that. He's just 7. Don't mind it as much. But as the standalone Bubba right now, so far, Gray has not been flashing that big-time strikeout stuff so far in the early going of the season, and that kind of gives me pause. Sure, it could all click tonight. Maybe it's a multi-entry play, but what are your thoughts on John Gray heading into tonight?
If it's multi-entry, sure. I think people are going to flock to it because they saw what Marquez did last night. John Gray is not German Marquez. Let's be very clear there, people. So don't go running to that. Coors Field wins out more than not. I'll pick my battles elsewhere than going to a $63 John Gray. And I think the Giants are alive again tonight. Marquez shut him down. I'd avoid Gray. I think people are, like you said, are going to kind of go that direction like a moth to a flame. I'd be very cautious.
Well, Solano is still just 3.3. He's like leading the league and everything. Matt Kemp has been hitting the baseball real well. He is at 4 on DK, but on FanDuel, he is just 3.1. All the guys are expensive on the Rockies, on DraftKings, a little bit more manageable on the FanDuel side. And then, of course, you have the Giants guys like Solano, who's leading the league and everything at 3.3. Yastrzemski at 3.9 on DK. Solano is 9. Yastrzemski's 5.8. Like, you can't even get involved in this unless you're going to go all the way to the cheap arms, which I don't love doing. So once again, you know, we sound like a broken record, but this is the way to win some money this year. Anything else from this game before we fly on to the late games here on the West Coast?
The only other Giants player that I mention a lot just because he's hitting second and he hits righties really well is don't forget Alex Dickerson if you are playing Giants.
Right. Ross Stripling, 8.7 against Garrett Richards, 7.0 over on FanDuel. On DraftKings, Ross Stripling is 7.8. Good secondary arm tonight. You always like the Dodgers. Stripling is a pretty good pitcher. I'm not sure what we're going to get out of Garrett Richards. I can't look too much to last time because last time he was out there was against Colorado. But look, Grisham's been very good. I would favor the Dodgers here. The Dodgers every night are always going to be in it. AJ Pollock swinging a nice bat here, just 3.2 over on DK. Just pointing that out, 2.9 over on FanDuel if he is indeed in the lineup tonight. What are your thoughts here on the Dodgers and Padres game, Bub?
The Padres keep sucking me in every night because of their price tags on FanDuel. They're just really cheap for their upside with Machado and Grisham are very affordable. Fam's not too bad. You know, Tatis you still pay for. So I see the appeal, but I think the Dodgers are alive in this one. They've kind of been quiet for a couple nights, like they did a little last night, but not the explosion we're used to. Bellinger's 41 on FanDuel, but 45 on DK. I know it's a little pricey, but it's cheaper than he should be. He's starting to heat up again over the last few nights. So I think get on Belly before he turns into like that $5,500 player. Get the value while you can now. And Corey Seager keeps raking 35 on FanDuel, 45 on DK. Still not the cheapest plays, but both playing very well. If you just want a mini 2-man stack, I got no problem with a Belly Seager 2-man stack for the night.
And on FanDuel, you could do Turner at 2.9, Bellinger 4.1, Pollock at 2.9, Seager at 3.5.
There you go.
I mean, right in the heart of that lineup. Yeah, I mean, right in the middle of that order, and that averages out to somewhere like 3 and change per player. That's pretty good right there. That's some good value on the board. Sean Manaea at home, 6.8K against the Texas Rangers, and Kyle Gibson 7.8 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, prices are a little different. Manaea 8.6, Kyle Gibson 8.2. Are you just going for offense here? And is there enough in this one to get you excited about it?
Yes, stack the Rangers. Manaea is a joke. He's done. Like he's maxing out around 88, 89. Todd Frazier at 2,600 on FanDuel is a very good value. It's about in the middle of that order. I think he's 42 on DK. And then Joey Gallo at 38 mashes left-handed pitching, so people won't use him much against the lefty. You can go like a Gallo, Frazier, and then if you want to go deeper, you can mix in like an Andrus or a Chu or something, depending on what that lineup looks like. But I would definitely look to get a little bit of thump in this one because Manaea is just getting beat. He's like the poor man's version of Bumgarner these days, and that's not good.
Ooh, and it's a shame too because last year this guy finished so strong. And I think everybody was starting to get real excited and starting to extrapolate, which is always dangerous. We know those numbers were unsustainable. And look, yeah, obviously so far it's not been great. I mean, there's no way around it. It's just the truth right now. But I'm with you. I like Texas in this one too. All right, 2 more games here, so let's get to them. Lance McCullers 8.3 on DK. Yes, against Robbie Ray, who's been terrible. Yes. Mm-hmm. Give me the big Daniel Bryan yeses in the air. Lance McCullers 8.1 over on FanDuel. Ray's been dreadful. No, this thing that he's doing with the new windup, it ain't working. He's gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep going against him. Give me Lance McCullers. Give me I was gonna say Lance Bregman.
I was waiting for that. That was good.
Give me Alex Bregman. Give me Lance Gurriel, Lance Correa. Give me Lance. Give me all the Lance. Everybody's just named Lance.
All the Lance.
Gurriel is just 2.9 again in the middle of this order, but Correa tonight at 3. I'm going to go easy Astro stack. If you want to isolate this in the late games, hey, this is easy to do. You go McCullers and the Astros, you get a couple of those Dodgers in there as well, and you rock and roll and you let go of the early slate altogether. There's nothing wrong with that tonight. To me, that is a very, very viable strategy to go for. I'm fading the D-backs altogether. Am I overlooking this? Am I getting, am I taking this too easy, or is this just, lock and load?
Lock and load. McCullers is very good GPP pitcher. Stack the Astros like we did last night. This late night action, we got one more game to talk about, but you can stack like these or mix and match these last 4 games of the night, and no one else is going to have this kind of lineup. So I like that a lot.
Dude, and you're right. Like we talked about when the night is to take your cash game lineups and throw them in a tournament. It's the McCullers one tonight. Tonight's the night to do that. There's going to be a lot of Clevenger, a lot of Darvish. I'm going to go with Lance McCullers tonight. I don't see why he can't match those guys and come out with the W right now because the D-backs are they're drowning. They are absolutely drowning right now. And facing the Astros is not good for business. You know what I mean? It's just not good. Last game of the night, Julio Teheran. Mike Trout is 4.4 in this one, 7.4 for Teheran over on FanDuel. On DK, he's just 7.5. Teheran doesn't have a big upside. Obviously, he's a quality start kind of dude. But look, at 7.5 as a secondary pitcher, Bubba, what I'm looking for is path to the victory. I think he's got a good path to the victory against Marco Gonzalez tonight. Joe Adell is just 2.1 over on FanDuel. He is 3K over on DK. If you want to go in and get involved with that, he did have his first hit last night. I wouldn't go crazy about it, but a free square with talent is a free square with talent, and it lets you go up to the board for other things. So keep Joe Adell in mind tonight. Trout is 4.4, and he's 6.2 on DK against Marco Gonzalez, a lefty. Ooh. It is a night to pay up for Trout, but 6 is just madness. So I'm going to let that go. But you're right. The late slate, very appealing, especially on FanDuel, because, the later the games get, the looser it gets.
Yeah, the couple things for this game. Watch reports on Teheran. It's his first return from an injury, so I don't know how deep he's going to go. So keep an eye on that one. And then you mentioned the cheap Adell. David Fletcher's still way too cheap, 29 on FanDuel. I think he's 37 on DraftKings. You could do a wraparound stack with Adell, Fletcher, and Trout. It makes Trout a lot cheaper that way and have a lot of fun tonight.
All right, so let's do it. It's that time again, boys and girls. It's time to call our shot. And if you're listening to this segment on Twitter, you could go ahead and retweet it and win some LineStar swag. So I'm going to go first today. I'm going to make sure I get my guy. That's it. The last 2 days have been annoyed, so I'm not going to be annoyed anymore. I want Alex Bregman. He's my guy tonight, 3.9 on FanDuel against Robbie Ray, who looks just all kinds of lost. I'm taking Alex Bregman. That's my home run. Put it in the books. I want it. I want the dinger tonight, Bubba. Who you got? Who's going yard for you?
As a Giants fan, this is going to sting quite a bit, but we're getting a belly bomb tonight. Cody Bellinger is going deep off of Richards.
He was my second guy on my list. So,
man, I'm in trouble. Should I repick?
No. Oh, damn, girl. Look at you getting all feisty in the morning. Listen, the one thing I always say whenever, like Chris and I last year always had to say, we never talk about these ahead of time. We always just reveal them. There was one night where I had Freddie Freeman. He had Freddie Freeman. None of us would give him up. And then Ryan Humphreys picked Freddie Freeman. And that was the night that Freeman hit 3 home runs last year. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's good. That's a strong
That was
one.
that game. And all 3 of us were in there. So whenever both of us are locked in on a guy, that means good things. So Bellinger is definitely a must tonight. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribing to Deck right here on the LineStar app, anywhere you get your podcasts. And make sure you follow us on the Twitter machine at LineStar app, at LineStar MLB. You can follow Bubba at KC Bubba. You can also follow him on the street in his straw hat and his overalls. And you can follow me over at Joe Pisapia 17. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. There's nothing left to do now except step into the batter's box and go yard. We'll see you next time, kids.
You've been listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar. Hit subscribe, tell a friend, and stay tuned for the next episode from fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.